Hi guys, Michael from the Board Games Chronicle today, and I'm today with another exciting title from the Levy and Campaign series. I would like to talk today about Plantagenet or Plantagenet, depending whether you pronounce it more from the French or from the English. So, the Cousins War. Plantagenet was a royal house which originated from France, but then also was holding the crown of England for 300 years. And because this house has like 4 branches, and some of those branches will be fighting for the, let's say, control over the England, this is the reason for calling it also the War of Cousins. This is already the 4th volume in a very rapidly expanding Levy and Campaign series. And here I would like to stop for a moment and would like to tell a couple of words about the inventor of this fantastic series, Folko Runke. I think Folko has a specific gift of creating fantastic war game simulations, war game series. And we can see this already in the counterinsurgency games. We can see it also in the Levy and Campaign series. But I would like also to draw your attention to another great gift of Folko, is that he's building a group of devoted supporters, designers, developers of the games in the series he started. Usually, because the series he is starting are very suitable to be implemented across a pretty wide spectrum of time, like in the case of counterinsurgency, or space, geography, like in case of Levy and Campaign. So in Levy and Campaign, you would have a medieval campaigns, medieval wars, medieval conflicts across, let's say, the geography. In case of a counterinsurgency, you usually have different times, although I would say it's really nice to have so many of the modern conflicts depicted there. Anyhow, I'm digressing a bit. Sorry for this. So, Plantagenet, it will be a cousin wars for England. In essence, it will be 3 wars which were fought there, and you will be able to fight each and every one of them separately, or you can play them in a campaign. There will be changes to the already established Levy and Campaign mechanics. I would say a lot of them will be streamlining the game and making it much quicker. Today we'll have a look at the components. I will tell you a little bit about the rules, but I will definitely create a separate video about first of all, how to play, and then also about the differences from the previous volumes. And I will for sure shoot one more video about some battle or maybe example of play. You can see also my other materials, for example, for Inferno and for Almoravit below this video or in the links which are appearing there during the material. So first 2 things which you are getting are rules of play and a background book. That's the usual thing which we are getting, and I believe this is really informative. The rules of play are not overly long. As you can see, there is always, first of all, summary of rules which are changed from the system from previous volumes. And then we have a usual description of the lords, of the assets, of the forces. Then we have also information about the cards, setup, and calendar, levy, so important phase during which you actually raise your forces, augment your forces. So you also get some, if possible, forage and stuff like this. And we have campaign, which you pre-planned for a particular period of time, and then you need to execute, which I really like. We have information about battle. Important to note, there will be no sieges, so it will be really streamlined game. There's of course supply, which is really important during this time. Other aspects, ending campaign. Okay, and how do we obtain victory? And scenarios, and there's usually a lot of scenarios in Levy campaign, which allows you really nicely get into the game. For example, we have 1B scenario and 1A. Henry VI is 1A scenario. It shows you with a color. Yeah, where is it? Warwick Rebellion and Wars of the Roses. Okay, so this is entire part. 1B Town is only here. Somerset Return is that part. As you can see, there are various parts of a timeline which allows you to play specific part of the wars. There is also a battle scenario. I see postword 22nd August 1485, and then you have always the setup. So, for example, for this short scenario, yeah, this is Henry VI. You have a setup always and the map, which allows you much quicker gather all the components. So this is 1A, this is 1B. Yeah, a climatic showdown will decide who is the king of England for the next 10 years. So this is a battle, I believe. Somerset Return also seems to be. Maybe it's not a battle, it's simply the setup, because I can see the calendar. You see, guys, I haven't read it yet in the details, and you can use simply the beginning here. Yeah, Warwick's Rebellion. Also, we have a map which shows the situation. My Kingdom for Horse. There is a lot of trivia connected with both wars and some citations like My Kingdom for Horse. This would be the battle scenario. And then we have Wars of the Roses. It might be one, might be two, might be three wars. And this is interesting. So, depending how the first war goes, you can go to two paths, and then depending on the results of those wars, to those paths, and then gain the victory. Plantagenet go to war. So first war 2 years, a short one. Okay, this is 1. This is 2V, 2L, and 3V. Okay, depending who won the first war, you would go to the various paths. Yeah, simply. And then for the third, you should also have 2 setups, I believe. Yes, there are 2 setups. So there are in all five scenarios for wars: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depending how the first war goes, you then go to the second one with a different setup. Really like it. A feel of campaign, you can say. What is very interesting usually with those games, and what I really like to read, is the background book. It's usually much longer, 56 pages. It tells you a little about the quick start, how to play solitaire. I like playing solitaire those games. There is some hidden element like playing the campaign, but you can go about it. Tells you a little about strategy. Example of play really helps to show how to make things happen. Okay, then campaign history, and this is what I'm reading because for me the historical war games are very important in telling the story of a particular part of the history. So it tells about Henry VI, First War, Warwick Rebellion, My Kingdom for Horse, of course, and you then have a description of all the lords and vassals taking part into the game from the historical perspective, from both sides, the Yorkists and the Lancasters, the Lancastrians. And what else do we have? Prominent personas, prominent houses, Arts of War. So all the cards you can use during the game. It's really good to have their description, tips and history, usually what you're getting here, and capabilities. Now some information about the scenarios. Good. Events on the Lancastrian side. Also information or tips about the scenarios, a lot of additional information, and of course design notes. This I like to read. I am usually reading this as one of the first things when I'm getting the game, to understand the idea of a designer and developer behind the title. Really, really cool stuff. And not overly long. Okay, and at the back, what do we have here? Rules and Arts of War card list. So rules of play and background. Then we have stickers, which we will apply to all the lords. Then you have player mat. You can use them just to hide behind it what forces you have with each and every lord. I sometimes use it, sometimes not, depending who I'm playing. Yeah, you have it for both sides. Then we have a very, very useful player aid. I really like player aid. I rarely have to refer to the main rule book because the player aids are so well made for the Levy campaign. We have all the commands. You will notice that there is no zit, but there is a parlay now. And there's the influence point mechanics, which changes the allegiance of a particular area. Really cool. Then we have forces. It's not surprising. You have some mounted forces. You have men-at-arms, longbowmen, militia, mercenaries, handgunners. You have handgunners. Of course, they might be armored or not. Then you have strongholds. The known so far city, town, fortress, so small, medium, large. These are typical, but you have 3 additional like London, Calais, and Harlech. And you have also some information about types of war, so influence which you are getting in the town for particular favor. What you will notice if you played previously the Levy campaign game, there is a battle, but there is no zich. Yeah, it's kind of a simplification. And another thing, if you look in details, we'll not be doing this today, but I will draw your attention to one element. There is the missile and the melee are simultaneous. So there is no this huge advantage of a defender who can hit you first. Now the missile is simultaneous, sorry, and melee is simultaneous. And then of course, sequence of play. So the Levy phase, campaign phase, and some additional information, as usually on the player aid. Then we have some special rules for all wars, for particular wars, and also the succession, because the people will be dying here. They will be dying, definitely. Now we have a map. But before the map, let's look at the counters. It's not a counter-intensive game. Usually there's only a couple of counters. So we have houses. Also here, I believe this is influence. And of the game, Levy campaign, cities, towns. Okay, depleted. This is coin, provender, cards. Ships are important assets during the game. Would need to read more about it. And this is a other side of the control. You have main players lords here on both sides. Okay, now map. I really like the maps of Levy company games. 2 things: they are beautiful and they are small, so you can fit them on almost on every table. And they are pretty ergonomic. You can see always the turn track. You can see the England here, and this is the track for VPs or other things you need to put there. You have highway, road, path. Depending on the depiction, you would have various sizes of those areas, like town, city, fortress. Beautiful, and of course France here. Beautiful. Now I believe that during the process of sending the game, it was put like this, and that is why this insert is damaged a bit. This is not a big deal because I will anyhow remove it to put the cube for mid-race, but you can see that unfortunately, yeah, the weight of the content is huge. So let me move it back and let's go through these elements which we have here. So yeah, we have some baggies which could be useful, but I would rather use the trace. This would be the counters, or maybe not the counters, the blocks for the lords. Nice. Here we have forces. I wouldn't say there is a huge number of them, just a regular number. Yeah, these are the foot units. There will be also some mounted, I believe. We have some die, of course, white and red. We would have now, this is a battle depiction, retinue, vassals and troops. Okay, let me open it. It was not being closed in the past, like this. So, okay, opening this. There should be Lord mats here. Okay, Lord card. So we have Lords now. Ah, this is very nice because you put the Lord card here, asset and so on. So this is a big change. I was not aware of this. This is a big change because that means that you would have Lords here. Yep. And you will be able to set up the appropriate Lord on the map. I believe it might be because we have so many lords during those wars, so many of them died, that it wouldn't probably make sense to have all the mats. It would take too much space. So, okay. Yes, we have them here. So we put a lord here, we put his assets, and we have everything. Wow, this is cool. And this will be already the command cards, which will give possibility to move, act for particular lords. A lot of them. And of course, there is a possibility to pass. There is more cards like here, similar for the other part, Yorks. And this would be the cards which change some elements of games, arts of war, and here you would have another set of command cards for the white faction. So we have Lancasters and Yorks. Yep, if I remember correctly. Very cool. I really like it, how it was created. Okay, guys, this is unboxing, so I will not bore you longer. We should not go into the details of the rules and the gameplay. I cannot wait to bring this game to the table, by the way. So I will stop here and we'll finish this first look at this unboxing video. You might be sure that I will continue with future materials. I'm really hooked to play this game. Probably now during the Christmas break I will have more time to do it. So guys, let's Plantagenet. So the War of the Cousins for England, a beautiful 4th volume in the Levy campaign series, designed by Francisco Gradailla, and of course from the Folklore series. If you like this video, please give thumbs up. If you like to see more content like this, kindly please subscribe and comment in the section below the video. Thank you for being with me and thanks for watching.